Imagine waking up one morning to find an official HOA notice nailed to your door. Your crime: painting your backyard fence in a color that made your neighbor emotionally uncomfortable. They gave me 7 days to repaint or face daily fines and possible eviction. But instead of backing down, I picked up my brush and painted the entire fence into something they'd never forget. This isn't just a story about color. It's about control, defiance, and how a small rebellion became a town-wide sensation. Stay until the end, because what started as a petty complaint ended with a news crew, a marching band, and a legal threat that shook the HOA to its core. It all began on a chilly autumn morning in the quiet suburban neighborhood of Oak Ridge Heights. The rows of neatly trimmed lawns, white picket fences, and freshly painted houses made it seem like a perfect postcard from a small town dream. But beneath the polished surface, tension simmered, and no one expected that one simple choice of paint color would ignite a neighborhood firestorm. My name is Jason Parker, and I'm just a regular homeowner. Or at least, I was until my homeowners association decided to declare war on me, all because of a backyard fence. For years, I had felt trapped by the endless rules and regulations the HOA imposed. Their motto, "Community harmony through uniformity," was a nice phrase, but in practice, it meant no deviation from their strict color palette, no unique decorations, and absolute obedience. Anything that stood out was an offense, a threat to their version of order. I wanted to bring a little life and personality to my home. So, when I found a vibrant turquoise paint that reminded me of the ocean, I thought, why not? It was my fence, my property. I had every right to make it look beautiful. I spent a weekend carefully painting every plank of my backyard fence, smiling with satisfaction at the bright color that suddenly made my backyard pop against the beige monotony of my neighbors' yards. But my joy was short-lived. The next morning, as I headed out to fetch the morning paper, I noticed a thick envelope pinned to my front door. My heart sank. It was the dreaded HOA notice. The letter was stern and formal. "Dear Mr. Parker, it has come to our attention that you have painted your backyard fence a color not approved by the HOA. This is a direct violation of the Community Guidelines, Section 4, Clause 7, regarding exterior property aesthetics. You are hereby ordered to repaint your fence within 7 days to an approved color. Failure to comply will result in daily fines and potential legal action, including eviction proceedings." I read the letter again and again, disbelief mixing with anger. How could a simple choice of color lead to a threat of eviction? Did they have the right to dictate something so personal? I tried to reason with them. I attended the next HOA meeting, where I was met with cold stares and clipped responses. "You knew the rules when you bought the house," one board member said curtly. "But this color brings life to the neighborhood," I argued. "It disrupts uniformity and lowers property values," another replied. I realized then that this wasn't about property values or neighborhood aesthetics. This was about control. The days that followed were some of the most stressful I'd ever experienced. Every morning, I would check my mailbox, worried about more notices, more threats. Neighbors whispered behind my back. Some openly avoided me. A few even left passive-aggressive notes on my door. Is this really what Oak Ridge Heights wants to be known for? But surprisingly, not all neighbors disapproved. A handful came by, admiring the bold choice, telling me it was refreshing. "You're the only one with courage here," said Mrs. Thompson from 3 houses down. Her words gave me hope. I decided to fight back, but I knew I couldn't do it alone. I needed a plan. My first step was legal advice. I contacted a lawyer who specialized in property and HOA disputes. She told me that while HOAs have authority, they can't be arbitrary or discriminatory. She suggested I gather support from neighbors and document everything. So I started talking to people, and slowly, the whispers of discontent turned into conversations. I created a petition, both online and physical, asking the HOA to reconsider their strict paint rules. To my surprise, Over 50 neighbors signed it within a week. The HOA, however, was unmoved. They sent another notice, this time including a daily fine of $100 for every day I didn't to repaint. It was clear the HOA was doubling down. That's when I decided to escalate things. If they wanted a war, I would give them a war. I began planning a community event, an art fair in my backyard, featuring murals, sculptures, and yes, my turquoise fence as the centerpiece. I reached out to local artists, schools, and businesses, inviting them to showcase their work. The idea was simple: turn the symbol of oppression into a beacon of creativity. Word spread quickly. Flyers appeared on community boards, and soon, the neighborhood was buzzing. The HOA board sent a cease and desist letter, threatening legal action if the event went ahead. But the community had had enough. On the day of the art fair, more than 200 people showed up. Neighbors who once avoided me now shook my hand, complimented the fence, and shared stories of their own frustrations with the HOA. Local news stations came to cover the event, turning my fight into a headline story. The HOA board was left red-faced. In that moment, the vibrant turquoise fence wasn't just paint anymore. It was a symbol of resistance, community,